All right, so we got a mail. Got some stuff in the mail from Burleson, Texas. I'm not sure who it's from, so we're going to open it right up and just check it out. I got a few friends out in Texas, but none of them have this last name, so I'm not sure what this is. Let's open it up and see. Always exciting getting mail. We love getting mail. Let's see what this.
We got mail. It's super exciting. We got mail. Yeah, we got mail. Give it a package. Seeds and eyes. Written in envelope with a written letter inside. You get a pretty picture on the front. Some words on the way.
Yeah, we got mail.
Oh, we got mail.
This is a couple pens. Cruising Scene with Travel in Between. Oh, thank you guys. It's Cruising Scene. One of our friends from Texas. Wonderful. Let's see what the card says. Mark Kratz is from Texas. I know I have more friends out there too. I'm not sure right now. Oh, beautiful flower. Look at that. Jeff and Tammy, just a quick note to say thanks so much for the giveaway and the wonderful prizes. We enjoy watching your channel. Keep in touch. Gary and Sharon, Cruising Scene with Travel in Between. Thanks, Gary and Sharon. We appreciate that. Look, it's a Hallmark card. Thanks again, guys. Go check out Cruising Scene.
Thank you.
All right, I know it's not a sticker, but we put it on our sticker window anyways. Cruising Scene. Thank you for the pen. We'll use the other one. All right, so this pull, you put your hand in, tighten it down, gives you access. You've seen the stuff. Now this one is a little different. You can carry stuff in it, or you set it to whatever size you want. Like this. Stick your hand in, then grab your stick, and it's more like a hand sling. It won't come off, and you can just rest your hand and not have to grip the stick all the time. So it's kind of versatile. Now we separated the wine from most of the sediment. It's going to sit for about 4 weeks, clarify, and then we'll take a hose or a tube and we'll pull the wine off of whatever settles over the next 4 weeks. This is our watermelon. Looks good, right? I have tasted all these little things in there. It's on the outside. And this one's got Shirley Temple in with it, so it's like a cherry watermelon. This is our watermelon mead. We didn't have to take and separate that because this is just watermelon and honey. So we're just going to let it do its thing. And this is our grape. I did add some water to this when we separated it. And I tasted it, and this is grape and got some honey in it too, and that honey really deepened that grape flavor. You can taste both the grape and the honey, and it does taste like and smell like alcohol. So did its job. Now it's just got to set and clarify for the next 4 weeks probably. So the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla, we love the outdoors. It's got a lot of outdoor stuff on our channel. And one thing that we do get is the Wild Ohio, publication from the Ohio Wildlife Fish and Game. And we really enjoy this. It's $5 donation if you go to get your license or whatever. This year we're celebrating 150 years of Wild Ohio, the Ohio Fish Commission started in 1873, and I really enjoy these books, especially if you like the outdoors. I'm not sure if they have this in your state if you're not in Ohio, but if you're in Ohio, you definitely want to check this out. You can get this from other states. You'll be able to see that here during this. We'll go over some of that probably. But we've got 4 issues out of the 6. There's 6 issues a year, and this is 2023. And we'll just briefly go over these 4 issues. But in this first issue, see, they start out talking about what's going to be in this issue every 2 months. And you can see here some of the things like Ohio's bald eagles, nest surveys. But here's how you purchase it. Wild Ohio magazine, hunting, fishing, and birding, a calendar, and much more. You do get 1 calendar every year. Wild Ohio offers 6 full-color 36-page editions that deliver engaging articles and images for all wildlife enthusiasts. Purchase an annual Wild Ohio membership for 6 issues, cover to cover, fish and wildlife information and images. $5 online, $5 at a vendor, or $10 mail-in, no phone orders. So not only do they have a lot of great information, but they have a lot of great artwork and a lot of history stuff, which is what I like. 150 years of conservation. It's got some old photos of some of the things. See if I can bring this up just a little bit. Ohio Division of Conservation work to reverse the negative effects of stream pollution circa 1930. And I did notice over the last few years there's a lot of stuff from around 1930. Here's some photos from back in 1873 to 1943. Each of these issues show a section over a period of time. This one's from 1873 to 1943. I love some of these old photos. This kid and his dad shooting up here, hunting. Rosetta Zimmerman was Ohio's first female deputy fish and game warden in 1920. There's Rosetta Zimmerman right there. This is the property of the Sportsmen of Ohio, bought and maintained by fishing license money without cost to the taxpayer, it says. And then they go on like the evolution of outdoor equipment, and they show a lot of photos and talk about that. This one also has Ohio's wildlife officers, spring, things that happened in 1990. There's a pretty cool barred owl. Learning birds by ear, and they teach you like different things that the birds say. Like a great horned owl says, "Who's awake? Me too. Who's awake? Me too. Me too. Who's awake?" I don't know what they sound like. You do it, barn owl. There's some spring flowers. This was issue 1. This is back in the spring. So some spring flowers to look out for. Creamy fish chowder. Give you some recipes for sure. They give you some areas to talk about things and send in questions. Rainbow trout stocking in Ohio. I love fishing rainbow trout in Ohio. Positive outlook for Lake Erie. Small game. So everything you need to know about outdoor Ohio. all their updates and things. Remind you of seasons, what's coming in, what's going out. Gives you all the information you need to know. Definitely a nice magazine to get. Now here's issue 2. It's got this fish on the front. I'm not sure what kind of fish that is. And they're all set up about the same. Tells you what's going to be in it, how to order it. Wildlife success stories. Eagles, deer, how populations have come back through efforts of the Ohio Fish and Game. Now this is 1943 to 1963. The buckeye was named Ohio's state tree in 1953. Public fishing regulations. The Dingell-Johnson Act was passed in 1950, providing funding to support recreational fishing. Look at this camper back in the day. Little truck camper. Almost looks like an Aerostream on the back of a truck. They're out bird hunting. Recorded keeping of bald eagles started in 1959. They started keeping track of where bald eagles were nesting. They started releasing fish into ponds and stuff to restock it. Cottontail rabbit research was conducted in the early 1960s to better understand population numbers. Canada geese nesting platforms were constructed to reintroduce geese into the early 1950s. So we're not just helping Ohio, we're helping everywhere that these animals migrate to. Waiting for walleye, a cure for cabin fever. That starts early spring. Gives you some good ideas of things to take with you when you're walleye fishing. There's that picture I thought looked like Mark Kratz there from the Ohio Fish and Game last year. This year it looks like the one we'll be talking about here pretty soon. The American toad, talking about wild turkeys in their first year. Birds. They do a little bit of bird information every one, it looks like. Funk Bottoms Wildlife Area. Tell you about different wildlife areas that are opening or changing. Here's a bee house, do it yourself. That's pretty cool. How to fillet a fish, step-by-step instructions on how to properly fillet a fish. Great Horned Owl Rescue, tracking wildlife. I mean, it's just packed full of information. There's an incredible catch by someone. Look at that flathead there. You can send in your photos of different wildlife that you see. And sometimes they'll get submitted into the magazine. So, issue 3, celebrating 150 years still. Let's see what we got in here. We're going to fly through these because it's getting a little long. Long history of monitoring. All right, so this is from 1963 to 1983. Learn to Fish program started in the 1980s. Wildlife management efforts to wildlife areas. Wildlife officer releasing a snowy owl. And there's a cardinal there at the top. I don't know if you can see that. It's all up here. They started water testing. Now the picture started to come in color too. Ohio Muskie. Look at those guys. Does that look like Uncle Jim, Uncle Bob to you guys? You all know somebody. Looks just like that still today. 1980s. Catching fish. All right. 4 seasons of Lake Erie Sportsman. Tips and tricks for your trail camera. So, I mean, for $5, you get this over every 2 months. Shipped right to your house. And the money goes to help Wild Ohio. You can check to see if they have publications like this in your state. Or you can get it from Ohio. There's a lot of information in here that would help anyone, really. Especially if you're in a surrounding state. Fraud in hunting leash scheme. Oven-baked catfish. Doesn't that sound good? Oven-baked catfish. And we have used a lot of their recipes. So, now this one is issue 4, and I really enjoy it. It's got this artist that they use a lot. You can see he's up here waiting for these Canadian geese. And they make a tribute to him in this one, along with their 150 years, because we'll jump back to that right now and look at their tribute right here. Collection of past artwork created by Adam Grimm for the Ohio Division of Wildlife. There's a whole page on it. There's got a deer down and does a lot of natural scenes. And they're also putting it on the cover of this year's hunting and trapping regulations. So you can see it's the same cover as this Wild Ohio is. It's wonderful. That sky looks exactly, that is Ohio sky right there. You've seen plenty of film and photo that we've taken of the Ohio sky, and it looks exactly like that. It's so good. He does such a great job. Now we're going to jump to the history part of this, and then we'll move on. Keep finding the art and everything, guys. 1983 to 2003. Everything's in color now. Fish continue to be stocked in many Ohio public waters. The Project Wild, I wanted to read about these. Resources Tech students. I want to read about the otters. Where's that at? 7-year river otter reintroduction began when 4 otters were released in Northwest Ohio in 1986. So they released 4 of them in 86, and look at this. This is river otters were removed from the state endangered species list after successful reintroduction program in 2002. So they released 4 of them in 84, and then by 2002 they were taken off the endangered list. We're introducing snowshoe hares. Mourning doves were listed as game birds in 1995 because they were so populated. And they do have a mourning dove. They got some tree stand safety. Got some stuff on some opossum, which I really like. The Luna moth. Hunting the 10-point buck. Some new updates to Maggie Marsh Visitor Center. You guys need to go check that out if you haven't. And then they have a fiery dove vindaloo recipe this month. And dove's in, so they use vindaloo, which vindaloo is a blend of ginger, garlic, vinegar, and tamarind, and some aromatic spices. But you can find in your international section of most grocery stores. So hopefully you guys like this, enjoyed this, and if you don't already get Wild Ohio, maybe this will entice you to go out and try to get one. $5, it's worth it. See you guys outside. Keep finding the art and everything.
And as always, we want to thank you all for watching these vlogs, but we want to give a big shout out to our members. In Tribe GMVG Tier 2, we have Mary Ranch, Just Doing Our Best, Native Wildman, Danny D, the Spectacular Supporter. In Tribe GMVG Tier 1, we have Roy and Becky's Travels, Time to Shine Homestead, and Ariel Viking Ventures and Victuals. Thank you guys so much. You all are legends.